Hello, 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 and welcome to an impromptu season 2. Wonder why that happened. So, yeah, it's him all the way over past Georgia. Hang on. Him. He's changed his name to TPK.
Yes, so, lose, Giorgio.
We are doing fresh characters. So, you are an orphan.
So
of royal blood, all of you. You're growing up in the city of Moraine, and we're going to deal with how you grow up during the course of this session. So what is the city of Moraine? Moraine is an archipelago city situated in the mouth of the Hurried River. It has about 1,000 islands approximately, but the number actually shifts and changes all the time because as mud gets deposited, new islands are formed, and then the speed of the river will evaporate them just as quickly. But the more substantial islands are inhabited. Many of them, over half of the world fragment that remains, or the bit of the world that is left after the world was destroyed, over half of the population lives in this city. Mostly on one of the islands, which are known locally as archipels. But quite a lot of people do actually live on the Western Bank because there are three, well, there's a mountain range, but there are three big mountains which contain massive stores of gold. And of course, the people who live on the Western Bank are miners mostly, or the associated foremen and guards, etc. So, because it contained so much gold, when the apocalypse happened and the dimensional rift was opened that allowed creatures to come in, something that came in was a really ancient dragon that has made Moraine its home. She set herself up as the queen, and as such, Moraine never gets invaded because it has a fucking dragon. So it doesn't have an army. It is incredibly prosperous as a city because the way the queen kind of thinks about this is if the people were mining gold, it doesn't matter to her if people get the gold because when the mines run out and she wants more gold, she'll just take it from them. So she doesn't mind them having it for the time being. So it is a very prosperous city because it keeps the people happier and working harder. But she doesn't get too involved in the day-to-day running of the city. For that, she has the great houses. Now, the great houses are largely run by people of what's called blue blood. And blue-blooded people are all descendants of the prince, the dragon prince, the queen's son, so it is believed. He is a bit of a dandy. He sleeps with everything. And I do mean everything. And you're going to find that out during character creation today as to just how everything he sleeps with. Now, people who become impregnated by the prince have a choice. They can either keep the baby or they can give it to one of the great houses who will have orphanages set up for the process or purpose, simply because blue bloods are infertile. So to keep a good steady flow of fresh blue bloods in their houses, they'll take in many of the Dragon Prince's offspring. You are such offspring. You have been left at the doorstep of House Oak. So, with that, let's start doing some character gen. Well, character name I'll leave up to you. You can be any race because the prince is not fussy.
Okay.
So, any ideas of? I know, Jason, you were talking about playing a dwarf, was it?
No, a cat person.
Cat person. Oh no,
I was planning on playing a dwarf. Yes.
Okay, so we've got a dwarf and a cat folk, and I think Phil and Ronnie were thinking human, right?
Yeah.
Just go human. Yeah.
Boring.
It ain't what you got, it's what you do with it.
Say that one about
as a dwarf, you should understand the concept.
Well, actually, I should be speaking in Francois' voice, really, shouldn't I? If I'm going to be cat folk.
Ah. Well, me playing a dwarf basically is all about the L rule. Do you know the L rule, right?
The L rule.
No. Wait, what is this?
He's calling me a loser.
No.
No, I don't think
Height,
he is.
width,
Length. Height and
Yeah.
length.
height and length.
Oh, I see.
So you're saying that height may be a shortcoming, but you overcompensate elsewhere.
Yes, exactly.
So you got a fast car then, right? Now you are growing up in the House Oak Orphanage, and when you all arrive at very similar time, within a few days of each other. Oh, I'm getting some feedback there. Who's echoing?
It's only just started.
It has
Yeah.
only just started. It's gone. How
Testing,
peculiar.
testing. I think
Was
it's
it
back
me?
again. Yeah,
I
it's
don't
still
hear
there.
it. I don't hear it anymore.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, me neither.
What
I
is
didn't hear
going
it.
on? Only Jason's echoing now. No, is it all gone?
Hello,
Maybe it was
hello,
a
hello.
StreamYard.
It's all gone.
It's all gone.
I believe
I
it's
think it's a
gone.
StreamYard
Maybe it
glitch.
was StreamYard.
Okay. Well, all back to normal. So yeah, you're growing up in the orphanage of House Oak, and one of the first things that happens to you as new kids is you're approached by one of the older children there, who thinks of himself as a little bit special, and introduces himself to you. My name is Castelletta, and I run this joint.
Pleased to meet you, I suppose.
So we have to work out whether you're one of the cool kids or not, whether you're in or out.
All right.
Personally, if it's you, I'm not going in.
You seem awfully young to run the place.
I personally prefer to be in, but also out. Is that possible?
See that pig over there? Go and kick her. If you kick her, you're in with the in crowd.
Oh.
Is it an actual pig?
Yes, what you see is a small child that is basically pig-faced.
Oh no.
No, I'm not kicking a pig.
No, we're the new cool kids, and we say no because
Well,
it's cool to say no. We don't follow the herd like you.
well, have fun playing with the pig then, because ain't no one's going to be friendly with you. And he storms off.
Oh.
So it is that you four grow up.
Feels so heartbroken.
You four grow up, and really, you are each other's only friends, with one exception: this
pig.
young pig who can't speak your language.
Ah, yes, I see how this is going to tie in nicely. Yes, well played.
So,
surely, if we're growing up with her, could we spend a little bit of time learning a couple of her words in Susian?
okay, so you do attempt to learn some Susian. It is incredibly difficult. If you want to spend 4 of your XP, I will allow you to understand Susian.
How much do we have, though?
How much XP
You're going to find that out during character gen, because it's all about what you've got left after I've extracted some from you.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck.
So, would you like to know Susian?
No. I'm
No.
done.
I don't think.
Like I said, a splattering of words to kind of increase a friendship if possible. But
Yeah.
if you're just going to take all our XP offers,
Well,
then
look, this is look. You're getting something for it. It's the ability to to understand Susian. I mean, that's
I'll make a note.
No, I imagine my character not to be that sharp. So I imagine he would have tried to learn something, but also give up pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Okay.
I realize that all it's doing is messing with my sinuses and my throat, and I give it up as a bad joke.
I'll just try and use sign language or something, yeah.
The
Okay.
human cavity is deeply flawed.
As you're not in with the cool kids, you do suffer a little bit of bullying.
I have claws, it's fine.
Castellet has basically rallied all the other kids in the orphanage against you. And this results...
all right. Dinner time will take care of that.
This results in you basically always being outnumbered and always being ostracized from all the fun stuff. But life in the orphanage is actually pretty good because this is the House Oak and you are of royal blood. So it's not like you're all living in dormitories. You actually all have your own private rooms. They have 4-poster beds in. And whilst you are expected to keep it tidy and do, a little bit of cleaning up after yourself, etc., you do actually have somebody who comes in once a week to give it a more thorough clean. So you're actually living a pretty good life. But sooner or later, you have to start your education, which begins quite early. And so you turn up for your first day of education. And you go to the room you've been told to go to, in the building you've been told to go to. And you enter this very wood-panelled room. I mean, everything in House Oak is, made of oak, obviously. They take it a bit too literally sometimes. And,
Who would have thought it?
Yeah. When you enter this room, it's quite unusually furnished. All of the furniture in here has smooth edges, and it's almost like it's one piece of wood, like all the desks and chairs that you sit on and the teacher's desk all appears to be like one bit of wood, but it's not like it's got angled edges. Everything's sort of curved. It's all rather strange. And when you go into the classroom, and on this particular day, it's just you 4 because you're having your induction day and all the other kids, older or whatever. Have you gone back to the 70s? Well, when the teacher comes in, and there's an opportunity here, so we'll name her in a moment, or him or her in a moment. We'll deal with that in a moment. But the first thing the teacher says is, "Hello, children. Please say hello to the furniture." Who does so?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hello,
sharp.
furniture.
I blink with the furniture.
Hello, my old friend.
Hello,
So
desk.
Three of you say hello to the furniture, and TPK over there blinks.
Yeah, I blink. I'm saying hello.
Oh, but in cat.
Yes, in cat.
Okay. Well, the furniture is basically the comfortableness of the furniture is down to how you treat it. This is, you learn over the course of your education or early formative part of your education, the furniture in this room is sentient. It's apparently blue-blooded. At some point, the prince slept with something and it decided it was going to be furniture.
All fucking right.
Yeah. There's this bit where you go to do your martial training, so you're introduced to the sword fairly early in House Oak, and the teacher asks the room to prepare the dojo, as it were, and all the desks kind of creak themselves away, and it kind of rearranges itself, and then even grabs some carpet to use as a crash mat. It's rather peculiar and unsettling. So, yeah. Does anyone at any point feel inclined to, etch something into their desk? Idly whilst in maths class.
maybe with my claw rather than like with a pencil, or maybe
Okay.
I'm sort of,
So
needing.
you at some point try to claw the desk, do you? And sort
Yeah.
of put your initials in or something.
Yeah,
I'm-
or
I'm-
need it.
I'm
Okay.
just gently stroking the wood. Hello, my
So
friend.
the desk really does not like you, Jason. And as such, you get a much harder time during all of the, the physical training that takes place in this room, like the dojo stuff. So you can, as a result of this being tougher on you, I am going to increase your vitality by 1.
Yeah.
But is it vitality that you increase? Sorry, it's the vitality modifier, which will sort out the rest in a minute for your racial bonuses. But it's always uncomfortable. So I'm going to limit you to only learning 8 knowledge skills, 8
Okay.
points of knowledge skills. So you're forced down the physical route because the desk just gives you such a hard time. So it toughens you up a bit, but knowledge is not your forte because it's always like sometimes it will just grow a thorn. So let's talk about your teachers. Does anybody want to have had like a good teacher, a bad teacher at some point?
I think we've got to have a bad teacher.
Bad teacher.
Someone we
Okay.
don't like. There's someone there we don't like.
Yeah.
What are we going to call this person, and what do they teach? You brought it forward, Phil, so it's with you.
Oh, I don't know. Was it traditionally it's sort of like maths or something like that, and maybe you had a Raven. That's a name.
Raven, Professor Raven.
Oh God, sounds awful.
Is Raven is Raven mad?
Sure enough. Well,
That's the joke amongst the students.
Or it could be something more like religion. So he's teaching a specific religion, and he's, I don't know, super preachy or something.
I think religion, heraldry, and history.
Yeah,
So, because of this teacher, you have 2 points each in heraldry and history and religion, and there's no escaping it. He makes you learn that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you don't, you will absolutely be punished. And, you are many times in order to get that far. But that is used. Everybody gets, or everybody who has a hard time with this teacher.
Okay, 2 in each one of those subjects.
So 2 in heraldry and history and 2 in religion, and that's 5 XP off what you'll be getting at the end.
What was that? 2 in?
2 in heraldry and history, 2 in religion, and 5 XP off. And Mr. Raven is somebody you will never forget.
Yeah, I was thinking about a cool teacher, maybe teaching literature.
Okay, let's have Mrs. Flop.
Mrs. Flop.
Mrs. Flop.
So that was 4 XP off whatever we're left
5
with.
XP.
By 5.
If you took the grudge with Mr. Raven, yeah.
I don't believe it equates to the 2 and 2. It's 5.
Yeah, 5 XP. Yeah. We're building character here. I tell you what, no, we'll make it 3 XP. Go on, we'll put it in your favour.
3 XP.
Yeah. If you had an issue with Mr. Raven. Right, Mrs. Flop, on the other hand, is an adorable, tiny, blonde, curly-haired, very floppy hair. Because, she's got to be characterised and troped. And she does indeed teach literacy, but she also teaches sword fighting, at which she is brutal.
Okay.
But her stuff is always really, really engaging. So, those of you who enjoyed working with Mrs. Flop will gain 2 literacy and 1 in sword fighting. Martial, which would normally be 3 points. And you can get that 5 points worth for 3 points, 3 XP. So those are your most memorable teachers during this time. Now, obviously, once you're, sort of into the curriculum, you're mixing with the other kids again. It was only the induction day when you were just by yourselves because you were being brought in, as it were. But of course, you have a really rough time. So during the fighting stuff, where you're being taught how to fight, you're being picked on quite heavily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you got 5 XP to spend here. If you spend it on Constitution, i.e. how much damage you can take, I will allow you to do it at a cost of 1. You still got to do it in terms of, if you want 2 points in it, you've got to buy the 1 first, then the 2 at 2 points, then the 3 at 3 points type thing. But I'll allow you to do Constitution at a cost of 1 because you're being toughened up basically by the fact everyone's really hard on you. But yeah, you can now spend 5 XP on either Constitution or Martial or Evade.
Is that on top of the starting ones, though?
On top of the start, yeah. You get the start stuff just automatically.
Right, so it's Constitution
5.
starts at 2, so it would take
Basically
3
up to
points.
Yeah,
It takes 3
basically,
points
yeah.
to put on
Yeah,
to
it would,
3.
Yeah.
2.
So yeah, you've got the opportunity to increase it cheap, is what I'm saying.
So 5 XP. What was the one after Martial? Was it Evade?
Martial and Evade you can also
Okay.
get. So basically you've got a choice between Martial, Constitution, and then 2 points in Evade, basically. Actually, as well as Evade, I'll give you the option of Archery and Bowmanship in there as well, so and Dodge.
So you said it's
Anything
Martial
but-
or Constitution. Oh, that's
Basically, everything under combat skills except Brawling for these 5 points. And instead of Brawling, you can do Constitution at a cost of 1.
All right, but for example, if I took the Marshall point with Mrs. Flop, I don't have enough points to take the second one in Marshall. Because that would be 6 points.
Yeah. Okay, well, you'd have to go. All right, tell you what.
No, it's fine. It was just to point that
No,
out.
let's make it 6 XP then, because a lot of these are 3, so it gives you the option of going 2
Okay.
points in one or 1 in another or whatever. Well, it's not 2 points in one. 'Cause you do one first,
In
but-
that case, let's see.
yeah, well, 6 XP with Mrs. Flop then.
All right. So I'm writing every XP that I won't be able to use later. It's a lot.
How much have you spent so far?
12.
Yeah, 12 too.
It's okay. You're going from House Oak, so you're going to start off with more XP than you would have if you're an Imperia.
Mm.
Remember, all of this stuff is optional. You don't,
Yeah, but I like it though.
if Mrs. Flop wasn't a particularly good teacher for you, then you don't get that option. But you can choose that. Now, being an archipelago city and being in a great house, sometimes the orphans are used as errand runners.
Mhm.
And so one day, somebody from the house comes in and pulls you out of class to get you to send a letter. And that letter has to arrive. Basically, you've got to take it to its destination, and it's on another island in the archipel called Black Market. You are told you're given some money, enough to get there and back with river taxis,
Mhm.
and you are told to find your own way there and deliver it to a certain address, 182 Blackmore Street on Black Market.
How very black.
It is. So you head off outside your house. It's the first time you've been off the archipel, and you're sort of. So the first place you get to is the docks actually on the island that you grow up in. And the island you grow up in, I should explain, is it's entirely House Oak. It is overshadowed by several notable islands. From here, you can see the Waterfall Palace. I should explain actually a little bit more about Moraine. It has several names, like it's sometimes called the Waterfall City, it's sometimes called the City of Gold, it's sometimes called the City of 1,000 Islands. The reason it's sometimes called the Waterfall City is because it has 3 waterfalls that run along the entire width of the river, you know, as it tears down toward the sea. And they have hydraulic lifts, hydraulically powered lifts that kind of basically can elevate boats up a tier and back down again. They also have a causeway from the middle tier that runs directly into the Waterfall Palace, and it has various lifts as well to go up and join the causeway. The Waterfall Palace is where the Queen lives, and you know, you don't go there unless you're told to. Beyond the Waterfall Palace, there is just one thing. It's the tsunami defense wall, because occasionally there's a tsunami. And they close basically it's a big gate the boats sail through and they close it off. And again, everything's hydraulically powered. So yeah, you get to the docks and your island is overshadowed by Prison Island, which is a 1 mile high tower. Which you don't go there because it's prisons. You can see one of the luxurious residential islands for the real high nobility from here. But you can also see Bank. Bank is basically a dragon hoard. It's full of gold that's been mined and purified and stuff like that. The Waterfall Palace is largely gold as well. It's also got a lot of gardens. You can sort of see it on a clear day. But you are actually heading upriver for this, and you have to go up one of the hydraulic lifts to get onto Black Market, and you arrive in Black Market, and you're just kind of there at the docks in Black Market. You don't know where to go. You've just got this address. What do you do?
Is there an official like a dock master or something?
Yeah.
I'm having a look around and trying to listen what people say.
City
Okay.
guard or something.
Right. So yeah, Phil and Questus look for a guard basically, and Giorgio's trying to have a sort of a listen. Now, conversations here are mostly about vices. You can apparently buy anything in Black Market, and there are a lot of people who live in Moraine that kind of come here for a holiday. It's kind of that sort of, you know, Las Vegas kind of feel. Questus and Questus, Ronnie and Phil, you approach a guard. The guard is wearing green, which means they are of House Oak. Because there are basically 3 city watches, and they're provided by the 3 houses. So this island is essentially a House Oak island. And yeah, you approach this policeman in effect, and how do? What are you kids up to?
We've been sent on House Oak business looking for this address.
Yeah, as a look. Whoa, right. Here's the thing: you should never ask anyone for an address in Black Market for a very simple reason. If somebody cannot answer the question, they are breaking the law and they will be killed. So, the correct way to go about that on this island is to go into a cafe where every waiter is trained to know where everything is. And that is how you do it on this island. However, you've asked me, and therefore I am obliged by the laws of tourism to answer. So he has a look. Fuck.
You sentenced the guard to death.
Tell you what, why don't I come with you and take you to the place? And
That sounds an excellent idea.
he kind of walks out the docks. fuck? Go straight to a cab. I tell you what, look, I'm a bit parched. Would you guys, would you like a drink? I think we should get a drink, shouldn't we?
Yes, get a drink.
I
It's
suppose
on
I am
me.
obliged to answer, so yes.
Yes, it's on me. I will. Let's just stop here whilst we're on our way to that address, and we'll get ourselves a drink in this here cafe. He sits down and he puts the envelope sort of, or make sure the envelope is sort of clearly visible on the table, and then gets a waiter. The waiter comes over. Hello, what can I do for you? You looking for vices, drugs, more drugs, women, boys? Look a little young for that.
This guard said that we can just get a drink in here. Is that not possible?
Yes.
He's
It
paying.
is customary. If you want directions, usually one asks for drinks because there's always a risk.
Apparently
So I may as
so.
well earn some money from it. That is the custom to order a drink whilst doing so. Yes, so you'd like a drink, right? And gets you all 4 tankards. Apparently, it's mead. Receive some money off the guard, and so where is it you're heading for today?
This address. I got a piece of paper.
Ah, right. Down there. You get directions. And so you head off to this place.
This is what is this? It is just honey. It's not a drink.
Actually, you're quite young, aren't you? Maybe not.
My milk tastes funny.
We're not that young. We're not like 5. We're teenagers, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine. So, well, yeah, 11, 12, something like that, maybe.
Milk has no age limit. Thank you very much.
And so it is that you are introduced to mead at a young age. And then you eventually find this place. And outside is this incredibly dashing-looking blue-blooded man. You know he's blue-blooded because he's wearing the vial of blood around his neck. And he sees you kids. New recruits for the guild? He asks.
No, Heron's boy with the letter.
Oh. Right. Thank you. Who's the
Somebody
target, I
wondering
wonder? And he opens up the letter.
Somebody wondering
Pardon?
if his letter is here are 4 new recruits.
Yeah. What guild is it? Something,
This is the Assassin's Guild.
Ah.
Do you not recognize me? My name is Marcus. I am one of the most famous assassins in all of Moraine. Do you want my autograph?
We don't get out.
Yes,
much, I'm
please.
sorry.
Fantastic! I tell you what, if you fancy it, I mean, you're kids. I mean, you ought to get fresh experiences. Why don't I take you around for a little tour of the Assassin's Guild? We can practice some knife throwing.
Yay!
With real knives?
Can it
Of
be
course.
Axis?
Well, yes. However you want to kill someone. I mean, you're all blue bloods here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're too short for an axe.
Piss off.
And
What's
so
that?
I
you
wasn't going
get
to do it here, but
you get a tour of the Assassin's Guild, and you get to meet lots of assassins. So, would one of you? Would you like to describe an assassin contact you all know and got on really well, who became a kind of mentor for you for a few years?
ooh.
Dear diary, school trip was very weird.
They gave me a funny tasting milk first.
I definitely think I'd probably be mentored by another catfolk person.
It'd be the same mentor for all of you. So,
Oh, right.
Yeah, I
so
was
they
more
could be a
thinking.
catfolk.
Sorry.
They could be a catfolk. You called it. Let's make it a catfolk.
Very good for stealth.
Exactly.
Yeah. I am the most famous of all the catfolk assassins that have ever lived.
I insist if we're going to have a cat with a sword, he's got to sound like Antonio Banderas. It just has to be.
Very well. I shall do what I can. So, my weapon of choice is...
Uh,
Claws.
Rapier.
Rapier.
Come on.
Come on, let's go for the whole thing. If we're gonna do it, he's got to be Puss in Boots,
Was he just
Well,
standing there wearing a hat and boots?
and not much else, which is deeply disturbing.
well, yeah.
Oh dear.
My name is Puss in Banderas. You asked for it, you got it. And my apprentices I shall call you. And fine apprentices you shall be. You may gain from your friendship with this particular catfolk a skill in martial. Whatever it currently is, just gain a skill. You may gain, this is if you choose it, you don't have to. You may choose 2 extra points in urban exterior, depending on top of whatever you choose. Because don't forget, you get 2 environmental skills as part of your character check.
Oh yeah, for free.
And they should be either urban interior, urban exterior, or river, which isn't on there.
River, you said.
River is an
type in
option.
river.
Yeah.
I'm adding it.
We're all great at rivers.
Yeah, it can be. Because, life in Moraine involves a lot of being on the water, going places and stuff. So, yeah, you can gain 1 flat skill in martial from whatever level it currently is, 2 environment skills in 2 environment skills in urban exterior, and you can gain 2 points in hide and sneak, 1 in picklock, and 1 in escape artistry. And all of this wonderful package of skills is yours for 6 XP.
Hold on, do that last pick again. The hide and seek
Basically, 1 each in all of the thievery skills.
For 6.
for 6.
For 6 XP. So you get 1 of all the thievery skills, a point in martial, and 2 points in urban exterior. And a contact or a friend by the name of Puss in Banderas, who is an assassin.
I'm sorry, but I don't think I understood. Do we get 1 among these?
All of them.
Or
All
all
of
of them? Oh,
All of them.
fuck. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Don't give a shit.
It's a bargain.
Pussy Banderas.
But also, I'm a cat, so I was kind of going to go down this route anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking more of something could teach me more about how to be socially acceptable in order to gain my way with my words before striking, but I'll find
Yeah.
my chance.
That's because you never come to etiquette class.
So
Well,
you
Yeah,
want to
because
learn-
professor's a bitch. That's why I don't come.
well,
I lose my temper.
you just want to learn how to deal with a polite society, so you don't come up
Well,
short.
I was about to say, when you get to the teens, etiquette suddenly becomes a huge focus of your education.
Fuck.
So, who is your interpersonal skills teacher?
Apparently, somebody who George doesn't like.
Let's define who this teacher is.
Bitch McFuckface.
We're good.
Is it a dwarf?
It can be.
It needs
That's
to be
why I'm losing my
somebody-
patience.
I think for etiquette, it needs to be someone who's either really good looking or really prudish.
Which are we going for?
So basically, we're going for someone along the lines of Miss Jean Brodie, then.
Who's Jean Brodie?
No clue.
A classic novel, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, about a teacher.
I've not read it.
I'm totally oblivious.
Yeah. Me and
Well,
George
I
are
was-
innocent.
It's just you, Ronnie.
I had heard the name, but I couldn't place where it was from.
Yeah, about the teacher, I was thinking that if it was to get on my nerve, I'm imagining it to be extremely posh in everything, since
Maybe-
teachings
right.
to reprehending
Maybe
to
it's Gillian
punishing,
Anderson.
just posh.
Okay, yeah. So this teacher is incredibly strict. In fact, from day one, she's one of these people. You know, like these people that try and teach you languages by doing the entire thing in the other language,
Yep.
even from day one.
Yep.
Right? That's what she's like with etiquette. And you have your hands red raw from being slapped with a ruler from the first day onwards. Just trying to get everything absolutely perfect with her is a nightmare.
This bitch.
Because of that, you don't learn any charm at all. But you do learn society etiquette, and you learn 3 points of it.
Ooh.
Etiquette.
Society
Etiquette. Yeah. For
When
how
it
much?
comes to bargain and trade, 3 points.
Mhm.
You get that. So
Three.
just straight to 3. When it comes to bargain and trade, disguise, persuasion, charm, she teaches you nothing because you're just not getting the etiquette.
Oh god, this is like school all over again. It's coming back to me.
All
So
right.
we're just getting 3 points in bargain and trade.
No, 3 points in society etiquette.
And bargain and trade.
No.
There was never bargain and
Oh.
trade.
Okay.
What I was saying was when it comes to bargain and trade, disguise, persuasion, and charm, you don't learn any of it because she's such a bad teacher and you were stuck on society etiquette.
Yeah.
Blame Giorgio, he created the character. So, so getting to the point now, also another thing in your teens that they start to focus on is your athletic skills. So let's talk about your athletics teacher.
Hmm.
Who
I
is
just
your
did it, guys.
athletics
It's up
teacher?
to you.
Who hasn't had a go yet?
I believe
Ronnie.
it's Ronnie.
Yeah, come on, Ronnie. Define this teacher.
Which one?
Athletics.
Oh, God. The only thing I can think of is a PE teacher from my own secondary school, Mr. Fingland.
That's your way to go, mate.
What a name! Straight off, Mr. Fingland. He was one of those teachers who always wanted to be the cool teacher
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
and
But
have a
what's the
sense of
farther
humor.
thing from it? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody took him seriously as a teacher.
Okay. And so it is that because he's so concerned with being popular amongst you kids that he doesn't teach you an awful lot. He gives you a lot of leeway. You do have a choice, though, in terms of what you focus on in terms of your specialty. You could focus on animals and horse riding type stuff, or you can focus on acrobatics or power athletics. He doesn't really do aerobics. He expects you to just pick that up from all your intense exercise. So, yeah. So which do you want to go for? Acrobatics, power athletics, or do you want to spend time with the horses instead?
Power athletics.
Yeah, I don't know how much a horse is going to, how much good that's going to do us on an island like this.
I mean, I don't reach the
Acrobatics
staffs.
would still be good.
I like the idea of the acrobatics, actually. Personally.
Me too. I'll go after that. Acrobatics.
Okay, so you all chosen and nobody went for the animals, correct? Or horse riding?
No.
Okay. Right, which brings us to the last topic.
Do we get any
This isn't-
points in that?
Good.
Oh, 2. Sorry, 2 points in in the athleticism you chose? It wasn't very good. And
Or
so the
Giorgio
last,
would have like a little bench in his room or something for weightlifting.
the last topic is an optional, and you aren't obliged to take it. And it is elemental magic.
He's still
Too difficult. Too difficult.
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say no, hells no, yet 9.
Wow.
Yay.
No,
No.
my
What about you,
character
Phil?
is really short-tempered. So he tried, as in learning Piglet's language. I don't ever recall the name of it, but Susian. But I give up because I don't manage to do it first time. So what's the point?
It's the thing about the magics we've clearly sort of witnessed as pupils that it looks great when it comes off, but it doesn't seem to come off a lot. Seems an awful lot of effort for not a lot of gain. Bit like sales.
I'm going to do it.
You're going to do it?
Yep,
Okay,
I'm gonna
Jason.
do it.
Whoa!
I was half tempted to take it as well, just because everyone seemed to be like, no, not doing it. So
Okay.
Paul's going to do it.
For those who are
I don't
taking
know.
it, I want you to write 2 elements in your magic skills section. So your primary and your secondary.
Oh, maybe I will then.
Um,
Okay, and then
oh, yeah.
presumably secondary is the 3 cost, right?
Yeah, it's the one you're not as good at, basically. So what have you chosen for primaries?
Air.
Mm-hmm. Fuck, I
see-
need to write another level of that. Right, okay.
Oops, sorry.
Okay, no, it's fine.
See where we are. I'm going to go water.
Okay. And then for your secondaries?
Fire.
Okay, I'll do something maybe a little different.
Earth, then, is the only one that isn't taken.
Yeah,
Earth.
no metal or anything.
I'll do earthing.
Okay. For your primary magic skill, I want you to write 4, and for your secondary magic skill, I want you to write a 2. You have 10 less XP.
Ooh,
10 less XP.
nice.
Oh,
Hey, no, that's worth it. Wow, 4.
hopefully,
Okay.
hopefully I can combine the 2, water and earth.
Yeah, sometimes you can. Sometimes there are crossover spells.
Into
Right.
mud.
I'd like to just go around each of you and see how much XP you've already spent. So, Giorgio.
So I spent 3 for Mr. Raven, 3 for Mrs. Flop, 6 for the bowling, 6 for the Pussy Banderas, and then you didn't tell how much XP we would have spent on other skills. So
No, that's fine. They were free.
Okay, that's a grand total of 18 then.
Okay, Jason?
I spent 28, and then if I've got enough for the Susian, that would be 32.
Okay. And Phil?
I only spent the basic like Giorgio. I've spent 18.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
for
Ronnie?
magic.
17.
Did you count the 10 there for magic, Phil?
You couldn't have done
No, I did. No, I didn't. Okay,
That's
28.
28. Okay. So, your total XP is 35 less what you've already spent.
Okay.
In addition to that, don't forget your starting skills, and you get 2 points in a trade skill. Your trade skill is, by necessity, society etiquette. So basically, instead of writing it in the trade skills, you put it under interpersonal skills. And also, of course, you get 2 environment skills free as well. So
Does that mean that the society etiquette will go up to 5?
it will indeed. For all
Oh,
of you.
right.
Okay.
Cool.
You definitely know how to behave.
So we've got.
Well, I need
Okay.
to.
Okay.
So 35. All right, that's 17.
Okay, so there's 3 environments as well. What did it say? 2 more points to spend in something.
Hang on. You've got all the ones of your starting skills to factor in. You get 2 points in society etiquette, and you get 2 points in environmental skills.
How much and where do I put it for Susian language?
Well, languages just go in the first page where it says languages and dialects. So you all speak Moranian.
1.
I'm giving it a fancy name. It's just Moranian.
So I've got 7 points. We can spend the 7 points anywhere we want then, effectively. Apart from.
Yeah, whatever you got left over, you can just do the normal point spend.
But we get another. Sorry,
Right.
was it 1 or 2 we get in environmental?
You get 2 for free, but you also might have been given 2 if you took one of the optionals. The Assassin's Guild gave you 2 in urban exterior. The 2 ones you get for free can go in urban exterior, urban interior, or river.
I'm done.
So that's going to be a 1.
I'm pretty much done, apart from factoring in any catfolk unique modifiers, like you were mentioning about the vitality thing.
Oh, that's 3, 2, 5.
Yeah, see, normally you get less skills to offset that, but we've done it a bit differently, haven't we? So I'll have to have a little think about what I'm going to do there.
6.
I suppose what I'll do is I'll give everyone who doesn't have a vitality boost a few more points to spend.
You said it was a modifier, though, so does that mean that you don't always have it?
Okay, I think that's it. A lot more points available this time.
Yeah,
And yet
absolutely.
it still doesn't feel like enough.
Come on. There's loads.
Yeah, you know, the GM's going to take it down a completely different route to we've gone.
Yeah. Well, suddenly you want to fail all your tests. Right, so if you are human, your vitality modifier is 2. If you are dwarf or catfolk, your vitality modifier is 3.
The first page, you mean?
On the first page, yeah, vitality modifier.
Wow, okay. And then I get the extra 1 because of the annoying furniture. Wow.
Or the constitution, yeah.
Oh, you said vitality rather than constitution, but...
Oh, vitality modifier. Yes,
Yeah.
I did put it in there. Yeah, you're quite right, I did. So you would have a vitality modifier of 4.
I
But
cannot
again, how does
change
it work with
I cannot change it. I'm the same.
I can't either. She's
I believe it is fixed as a value.
You're trying to edit vitality. You want to edit vitality modifier, which is next to species. It's a
That's
couple of rows above it.
mortality.
Couple of rows above.
Oh,
Vitality.
mortality.
That's mortality.
Yeah, there's no...
I must have a different version of the character sheet to you.
Besides species, on the
Yeah.
right, we got the mortality.
Yeah, mortality.
Oh, okay.
That's the version 3 character sheet you sent us.
Shit, I think I've not got the... Oh, this is version 2C on my computer. That's why. Let me go grab version 3.
Although putting in the +2 has changed vitality up to, so it is linked in.
Yeah.
So which one? Mortality.
Mortality. If you had the bonus there, the
Oh, it
vitality.
does, yeah,
was
it's gone
lower.
up to 3. But should it be on 3? I thought it was only on 2.
Your mortality is what I should have been calling it. You're quite right. So mortality for a human is 2.
Mhm.
For the non-humans, it is 3.
Yay!
Oh, okay. So
I am not human, right?
Right.
3
Indeed, as a dwarf, you get 3 in mortality.
3 total rather than added to the base 2,
No,
right?
in your case, Jason, because you got 1 from the table, your
Yeah.
your mortality will be 4.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Math.
And then when you fill in your constitution, you will notice
Yeah.
your vitality goes up even higher.
Yeah.
Constitution is.
Well, it starts at 2, but you might have increased it during
Yeah, which
character
I've
gen.
done.
No.
No, mine's set at 1. I can't change it.
What, the current value?
Yeah.
Well, I just downloaded the sheet afresh and it definitely works.
So why is it?
Oh, you're trying to change it on the front page. Are you? Or
You gotta change it on the
okay.
second page.
2. Okay. Yep, that works. Constitution 2.
I'm a tough kitty, not like that fragile centaur I was playing.
yeah, but you are blue bloods. It's a totally different game.
You see, we are playing the tweaked version of the game because the GM understood that we are dumb. So
Right.
she allows us to be a little bit tougher so we don't die in the first 3 sessions.
Yeah, give us time.
Have you done all your skills?
Yes.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the last page, then, faction standings.
Ooh.
Right. House standings Oak. You are a member.
I would hope so, yes.
Yes. I suppose arguably you could write orphan there and it would make some sense because you can have rank within the house, I suppose. House
member, yeah.
Elm standings War. House Beach
War.
standings War. House Willow standings What? Cold War, but so Cold War with all the other houses. Queen of Moraine. Senior subject.
Senior.
Senior subject.
Right.
With Imperial Dynasty, Queen's House. You are members of the house that the Queen, because the Queen of the that married the King of Imperia was from House Oak. Imperial Judges, you'd be Queen's House.
What was Free Folks
And-
Forest?
Free Folk Forest.
I'm skipping over that for now. River Folk, you would be. Actually, no, ignore that. Right, Ashad Military, Ashad Military and Thum Party, you would be an enemy of the state.
Or Ashad Military and?
Thum Party.
Underneath.
Right.
Arwen Intelligentsia, you would be untrusted. Giantdom, you would be squashable.
Oh, where is that? Oh, yeah.
Anything not squashable?
And everyone else, you're unknown.
Okay.
Apart from Seuss, that's just untrusted because they don't trust anyone. Under wealth, gold crowns.
Right.
Write any number you like in that, but
8
bear in
billion.
mind if it's too much, because this is what you're carrying.
Oh,
So any reasonable number that you can carry. You essentially have an unlimited supply of gold from the house. But in the gold crowns will be what you're carrying. You also can
If we have enough, we can employ other people to carry it for us.
Yeah, but then you've got to be
super bad.
around them. And don't
Okay.
forget, they're not going to be blue bloods.
And presumably, if we're carrying more, we're more likely to get pickpocketed and things like that.
Absolutely. So this is just a choice. How much do you want to be carrying?
Okay.
Because throughout the game, you have unlimited stores of gold.
What's the general conversion? So, as in, like, how much is a gold crown in today's money? As in, real money.
What, pounds and pence?
Yeah.
Well,
Like, how valuable is a crown at the moment?
Okay, a rough guess 1-to-1, because you know, if you look at the cost of swords, but then armor's a bit cheap by that metric, so I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Right.
Does it relate to sort of D&D sort of scales?
I guess.
Okay. So, yeah, okay.
I mean, you wouldn't really know.
That's who play. That's what we've been doing when no one's bringing our friends. We're just have a D&D game together.
You also have access to gold bars, but you wouldn't conventionally carry them around. You don't have access to the other currencies listed.
Okay.
Equipment. All equipment you purchase will be level 4, apart from armor. If you want to purchase armor, you will need to, that's a significant expense. But you can buy anything at quality 4. I should say breakable items like maces. Maybe that's only quality 3.
Breakable item.
Yeah, something that would break, concussion weapons like maces, that would be a quality 3. But basically, you can have any weapons you want at quality 4.
Any sort of bladed weapon,
Yeah. I mean, bearing in mind, I gave you a potential there to have a lot of martial skill if you wanted.
Mm-hmm. I'm not used to it, so I don't know which one used the martial skill.
Well, the aristocratic weapon of choice for martial skill is, of course, a sword. But the problem with swords is if you're in a sword versus sword fight, only the person with the highest martial skill gets to use their skill.
Yeah.
Other martial skills, let me see. Arming sword, daggers and stilettos.
Babe, when you've got a minute, can you put the drive link up with the weapons in, please?
Yes, I'll tell you what, I'll do that right
Be up.
now.
Where's the weapon price? Oh, there we go.
You don't particularly need to worry about price per se on this, but yeah.
I mean, would we be expected to go? We wouldn't expect to be carrying shields around Moraine, would we?
Actually, yeah. If you go off of a House Oak Island, yeah, but you wouldn't carry it around your house. No.
Okay.
There's you can own one. You can have it on your equipment, but there's times when you wouldn't be carrying it. So other martial weapons: daggers and stilettos, long swords, flails, halberds, quarterstaff, rapier, scimitar. You can do spears, javelin, and pilum with martial, but you can also do them with brawl.
I think I'll go with an halberd.
Ooh. Training to be a town guard, are you?
Yeah, I'd rather keep people at a distance. So piss off.
Don't forget, you can also have like a sidearm as well, so you could have an arming sword on your side as well if you wanted. I mean, you are an aristocracy, so it's kind of half expected, but it's not a rule.
Arming sword, are they? What are they then? They are what?
So we don't have to look
Modified using
on how much we are spending on this.
Nope.
Oh,
You know, earlier I described those
Marshall.
mountains full of gold and
Marshall.
the island of Bank, which was basically a big fortress full of gold.
Yeah.
Your house currently has the I forget the exact title I gave it, something like Chancellor of the Keys or something, which means currently the person running Bank Island is from House Oak. So it's in charge of the Queen's Treasury. House Oak is the richest house in Moraine.
all right. So I'm going with an halberd and an arming sword.
Consider yourself a Tory minister during a pandemic.
Yeah, basically. Right, you can have armor as well. In fact, I think it would be reasonable that the humans could have plate mail armor, and the dwarf and the cat folk could have access up to chainmail.
Okay.
Free of charge again.
Yeah,
Nice.
it would be quality 4.
Okay.
It would just be as part of graduation, you'd be given your own suit of armor that's decent.
Oh,
Because you
so
are just
nice.
graduated when we start. And we'll cover that after the break, which we'll go to in just a moment.
Right. So I'm taking the chainmail. Quality 3, you said?
4.
A 4.
Yeah, everything's quality 4 except things like maces that can break. You know, weapons that can break will be a lower quality. So, yeah. If you want better, that's very custom, and like a lot of aristocrats do have better, but it's not something you'd get as part of. Oh, you've graduated. Here, have a expertly forged, master-crafted weapon by the top blacksmith in Moraine. You know, they don't do that, but you do get a very good one.
There's no specific section for throwing knives, so is that just the same as a dagger or stiletto?
I don't think I really covered thrown knives, oddly, or indeed thrown axes. I don't really think about it. It would be a dagger. Stiletto would just break if you used it as a throwing knife.
Okay.
Um,
Still martial then, and then the same things. Okay. Armor. Well, the thing about chain is it will just clink a load if I'm jumping around.
yeah, you can have up to chain, but that doesn't mean you have to have only chain. You know, it's your choice. So you could stick to leather or padded jack if you wanted.
I don't know if I want to go full armored, but I know you say you should see how dangerous it is.
Well, no, you have the option.
Armor up there.
So quality 4 plate armor would, as well as using the plate damage column, which is usually low, it also has a damage reduction equal to the quality, which is 4, which is insane.
Right, where do you put the shield?
Well, your shield would be quality 4 as well, and yeah, you just write that under other equipment.
I'll go for chain.
There do's.
I've went with plate. Sod it all. I'm going big.
Oh god.
Go big or go home.
And shield.
I've went with plate mail and a shield and a long sword. I've got a dagger.
Bow, a nuke.
I went with missile. I'm getting up close and personal. I'm hacking folk to bits.
Yeah, House Oak, they train you in martial skills because you're expected to, do sword fights and stuff as duels and whatever. So you would get utterly trounced by an Arwen archer, but you're very good with the sword and martial weapons. As good as melee comes.
Do I take a shield? It just seems a bit odd for my look.
Then don't have one.
I
Perhaps
have
you've got
one with
perhaps you've got
with a goat painted on it.
Perhaps you've got a special
I
type of
hope-
shield.
I hope there's a tree in the background.
Of course, the biggest trees.
All right. So that is everything done. Any questions?
Religion?
Basically, House Oak is your religion. Right.
I was going to say money at this stage, but
Yeah, there is no room for anything else. Your loyalty and beliefs are focused on the house because you've been indoctrinated since childhood.
Okay.
Mhm. All right.
Okay. No.
I think that's that then. I think I'm
Right.
there.
Since I don't have much creativity tonight, and since I'm reading the Witcher books, my character will be named Yarpen.
Okay.
I mean, what is the sort of naming convention within Moraine then? Is there anything particular? Or because
Well,
I mean, last time it
it's
was Roman, wasn't it? Really?
yeah. Well, okay. So House Oak don't particularly name the children when they're given over, and your mother wouldn't have left a name because you are just left on a doorstep. So you would have been named basically by the bullies. So you could choose your own name,
Oh dear.
but the bullies may have had another name for you, and you were all bullied because of the choices you made in character gen. So, I think you should all have two names: the name you want to be known by, and the name that the bullies call you.
I got both.
Sharp and the short.
Were there lots of catfolk kids there, or would I be like the only one?
You have met other catfolk at House Oak, but you were the only one going through the orphanage at the time.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, you had a catfolk mentor for a while from the Assassin's Guild.
Oh, yeah.
He is quite famous. You actually read about him in the Gazette occasionally. Some of his kills.
How do you spell that? Is it like this? Yes.
All right. Mangy fur. All right, so I think we shall take a little break there. And when we come back, I am going to give you basically the setup encounter because you will be going to the Waterfall Palace upon graduation for what they call the final test.
Oh.
Oh, all right. See you later.
Okay, bye.
Hello.
Hey. I need to trim this. Hello.
Welcome back. So is that all good on the character, Ronnie? Any questions?
No, pretty good. Going pretty much as a one.
I don't want to know where you got the term stroker from.
The way you used to stroke all the desks and everything.
Don't need to know.
I mentioned that at the
Ah.
start. They was kind of stroking the desks, but of course, kids being kids, they made a double entendre out of it.
Wow, that's pretty dark.
Vinny Nolly. And what's your nickname?
I'm working on that now.
Finny Nolly.
It's got to be Ninny Nolly, surely.
Mm.
Hey, Nonny Nonny.
Hey, Nonny Nonny. Ninny Nonny.
Or maybe is there any food in Moraine where cats would be put into it, like a soup or something?
Curry.
Moraine trades with the entire world, but because of its sheer size, there isn't enough exotic food coming in. So regardless of what race you are, you do have to eat a lot of rice, even in House Oak. But of course, you do have access to pretty much the world's food basket, but it's always, this is what's in the rice today.
Well, no, I'm just asking because my bully name could be a food that has cat in it, sort of thing.
Oh, I see. Oh, do people eat cat, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it could be cat curry or something.
Curry for...
It should be noted that you are more of a saber-toothed tiger than a cat. You definitely have the fangs over your lower jaw.
Ooh.
They are external.
Okay then. What
Right,
about
and you get-
with the teeth?
And he gets bullied.
Yeah.
Apparently. What about something like overbite or lockjaw?
Yeah, whatever you go for. It's up to you. See, I think I'm going to make another coffee while we wait for your shift.
Oh, can
I did.
No. Okay. One second.
You need to shake the loading off. Yeah. How you doing, Ronnie? What's it like in Scotland at the moment?
Bloody hot.
It is hot here as well. Yeah, I cooked the sun today. Actually, I was washing the car.
Oh, I hate it. I don't mind dry. I don't mind sunny. It's when it's too hot, my whole body just shuts down. I just get really drowsy and I hate it.
Yeah. So
I'm
definitely caught the sun today. Cooked washing the car, and it's just massively hot. I wouldn't expect it to be so hot.
I'm more an
I've
autumn person.
Been all right today because I've just stayed indoors. We have what's quite good is that we've got windows either side along the landing, so I just open those up every time. So there's like
You can create a draft. Yeah.
Yeah, creates a nice flow of air, keeps upstairs. Okay.
The thermometer on the car was saying 29.
Ooh, a little bit number.
When I went out and checked at 4 o'clock, it was 25.
Crikey.
I don't think it's been that hot here. It's been sort of low 20s here. But yeah.
It's been hot. Supposedly it's going to be even hotter tomorrow, which I'm not looking forward to.
It's going to be as hot tomorrow down here as tomorrow. Place is packed as well. We've got so many tourists and police and...
Yeah, that's not going to help with the heat either.
Oh, it's terrible. You can't get from one end of the country to the other. I'm glad I don't live in St Ives, because a lot of the people down there are having to carry 2 forms of identification, one of them being photographic, just to get to their homes.
Wow. Well, I've been learning some more mixing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going through this stage where it's like, oh yeah, this is really useful, and then they get more complicated, and it's like, oh, I can't do that, or oh, I don't know how that's going to work with my own thing that I'm mixing. But I have found a couple of new free plugins, which is nice.
Well, I was asking you how you sort of like, if you use any software, or how you make notes for your writing. Apparently, I talked to Jay and Ian, and they think I'm trying to record too much information.
What do you mean record too much information?
Well, about the setting I'm writing, I think I'm just trying to record too much information altogether, to have to keep track of it at that level.
I still don't quite follow. So what do you mean you're writing loads of stuff down?
Well, I'm not. I have a lot of information, but I don't know how to best to do it. The question was how best is to record all the information, so you keep track of what is what and where it is.
What's this
bullet point?
I think Jay and Ian just think I'm just recording too much information.
Bullet points. Literally.
Sort of like, this street is in that city.
Yeah, just bullet point. The thing is, if you're writing, just have enough written down to remind you. The bullet points, all the bullet points. If you write down a bullet point, went to this street, that should trigger enough of your own memory that you don't have to write everything else down. That bullet point will be enough to trigger. That's what I do. Right? Even when I'm doing like the session recaps, I sit down, I watch the previous episode, and I sit there and I write bullet points, and then I do my recap just based off of bullet points.
Which is why my session notes are goblin, fast wall, fuck, ouch that hurt, stuffy northern accent.
Yeah.
And that's it. It doesn't help. All right, so are we ready to resume?
We are.
Start even. Right, okay. And so it is, the day of your graduation. You are presented with your armor and weapons. And there's kind of like a little gathering of the orphanage. The younger kids are kind of there to sort of see you off. And you basically get on board a house oak barge, and you're heading for the archipel of Festivus. Now, Festivus is a place you've been to before for various fetes and carnivals. It is basically it's an island that's kind of set aside for all of the community events, but of a more official nature. It's like it's got a theatre there. I mean, arguably, I should put a Colosseum and a Circus Maximus there, frankly. It's got some great pubs, and it's a purely entertainment venue.
So it's literally the arts district. It's the theatre district.
Yeah.
On an island.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
But you have been there several times before, but on this occasion, you're only kind of going there to get on another boat. And it's one with kids from all the other major houses, because the Queen doesn't do these graduation things often for the final test. And when she does, obviously, all the houses send all of the kids to basically go and graduate. Now, in your case, you've had to wait a couple of years, and you're a little bit older than some kids that have gone through this. So we'll make you sort of 19, 20 range. when it's time for you to graduate. And so you arrive at Festivus, and there's a few kids from House Elm, a few kids from House Beech, and there's a tree from House Willow. There's a tree. He's got a vial of blue sap around his neck. The prince really does fuck everything.
How do we feel about the tree?
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Sapling. That's what all the kids call me.
It seems a little unadventurous, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, I'm adventurous.
Well, then you deserve a better name than what they gave you.
Exactly. You're a fine, strapping, wondrous
8 foot tall tree. Slightly
8 foot
taller
tall
than
tree. Just to have a name worthy of your status.
I just
Sapling
hope that
is
I just hope that sword fighting isn't on the final test. I've got my sword. He very slowly grabs the handle and draws it. Very slowly. I've been practicing so hard. I'm not very good. And very slowly puts the sword away again.
What's your strong suit?
I'm very still.
Well, I sure hope, and I will be praying that there will be a stillness contest.
I'm good at many things, just not swords.
They
Nice
can be
to
tricky.
meet you.
very nice to meet you as well. I hope.
Nice meeting you too.
Yeah, and you.
And then some kids from House Elm turn up. They're mostly human, but one of them is a creature you've not seen before. It's red-skinned and bloated. It's like fatter than the dwarf, a little bit taller, no hair to speak of at all. And it kind of moves like whatever's within its skin isn't skeletal. It's humanoid, but its legs have like rolls of flubbery bounciness. It's a curious thing. It sort of comes up to you and kind of looks at you all, sizes you up, and then it just randomly headbutts Gamlered.
Fuck!
Steady on.
What was that for?
Your House Oak.
Yeah, you're a house bitch, apparently.
Beach.
Yeah.
House Beach is over there. We're House Elm.
Oh, you must be from House Dumb. I'm sorry.
We are gonna get control of Bank back.
You look very tasty.
I thought you just said
Don't get too
beaten.
close.
Yeah, also stop moving. You're giving me seasickness.
I am Italian.
A what?
Italian. Stop moving. We are noble griffin riders.
Can you stay on it?
Well, I haven't got
You
griffin
seem a bit floppy, actually.
from a rain.
Is that because no griffins like you?
Clearly, Weebles wobble
Because
and
there's
don't
no-
fall down.
I suppose if they do
Griffins
fall
never
off, they'll
rain.
bounce.
Anyway.
Are you
I'll
sure you're
enjoy
not
watching-
famous griffin excrements? Because by the shape, one would assume.
I'll enjoy watching you die in the trials.
Yeah, the smell's not too great either.
And then they wander off. And then finally, the boat turns up, and it is being driven by none other than Castelletta.
Mm-hmm.
the kid who ostracized you right at the start.
Yes.
Oh,
And,
the ship fell in the water.
Basically, like everyone gets on board the boat, and as you're getting on, he actually sets off, and you kind of have to leap on board. And then he makes way or heads toward. It's a big sailing boat, basically, and he heads toward the causeway and sort of gets on the entrance to the causeway. And you're sailing down this thing, and it's like a gigantic aqueduct. So you sail basically over the waterfall, but you carry on this kind of aqueduct channel, concrete channel. And you get to the first lock. Now, at the lock, there is basically 2 guardhouses, one either side. And, all the apparatus for these lifts that go up and down. Basically, either side of the lock are basically guards from different houses. So on the one side, you've got the Green Guards of House Oak, and on the other side, you've got the Red Guard of House Elm. And they are just in, like, any time when there's, like, eye contact between them, you just sort of feel the intensity of it. Like, it's absolute hatred there. But eventually you get through this lock, and then you carry on sailing down the causeway. And then there's the last guardhouse, and at this one it's the final lock as well. But at this one, you've got the Green Guards of House Oak, but you also have some guys that are looking quite badly equipped, you have to say, by comparison to your men. But they're kind of wearing this sort of lime green, yellowy green colour, and they're House Willow men. But it's not like they're dressed as soldiers. It's sort of they've got weapons, but they're definitely not as, like, the equipment is lighter, should we say. But this time, they're kind of mingled in, and like they're playing poker and having a laugh with each other and that kind of thing. And as you actually have to wait at this lock for a little while, because there's a boat going down in one of the lifts at the minute, and you kind of have to wait for the causeway sort of bucket, as it were, to rejoin the causeway and then the gates to be opened. And as you're waiting for that, one of the House Willow men comes on board your barge and tries to get your attention. Everybody, settle down for a moment, please. You are about to enter the Waterfall Palace. And whilst you're there, there's a few rules that you need to be aware of. Firstly, is the Queen is an avid gardener. So at no point should you ever step on the grass. Do not step on the grass. It's her garden, it's for her. You also shouldn't touch the gold unless she instructs you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you're on your own.
All right.
It gets off the boat and it sails forward and goes through the lock, and then there it is in front of you is the Waterfall Palace, this big marble palace with loads of greenery. It's like this most lush and verdant gardens and trees and stuff. And the palace itself is kind of elevated over the last waterfall. So if you imagine like it's the final waterfall of Moraine, but you kind of sail over it into the palace itself. And like the only other thing this far out, and I think Giorgio's got writing going on there. But, the only other thing this far out is there's a kind of a small, a man-made island a little bit further away, and that's for the boats that come in from the other side. You could see the great tsunami wall there in the mist and stuff. But the palace itself, it's incredibly verdant. And you kind of step off the docks, and the docks, every other dock you've ever been on takes significant footfall, and so it's a very practical thing, you know, straight cut lines, planks of wood that are heavily worn. This is intricate and ornate. The border is gold lined, and you notice that the grass just off the bit that you're meant to walk on, off the path, the height of every blade of grass is exact and matches, and the grass itself, it's like it's grown in rows.
Oh, there's something I want to do so badly.
What, step on the grass?
No, at my first chance, I want to push Castellet on the grass. Just shove him on the grass.
Okay, I think we're going to have to do that with cards, and it's going to be a reactions and speed check to beat him.
Oh no. Not a power athletics.
You can do it with power athletics, but he will know you're coming, and therefore he'll be able to defend. So he'll be adding his skill on power athletics as well. Whereas if you do it by surprise, it's just your reaction and speed. So it's your
Which
choice.
is 0.
Okay.
Well, you've got a fresh amount of cards at least.
Yes, let's deal some cards actually before you commit to an action, because that's a bit cruel, isn't it? Somebody's not logged in, by the way, and just missed the deal.
I believe it's Phil.
I'm there. Oh, I can't open it.
I took the water thingy as the other time.
Oh, I'm having trouble opening it. Hold on, I'll do another window.
Yeah, I'm going to have to redeal, so bear with me.
But my cards are pretty good.
Yeah, mine were too.
Oh, God, it remembers.
Well, mine were pretty shite, so let's have a redeal. I'm all for it.
So what's gone then, Water?
I've taken air.
It's still not there.
Oh, fuck.
You're still not getting these cards. I'm just waiting for Phil to come in.
I just wonder what everyone's taking. It's just water and air, is it?
Water, air, and purple have gone.
Whatever.
Okay, I'll do fire again then. Okay.
There we go. These are your cards.
There goes that lovely 10.
No, I'd like the previous hand, please.
Yeah, the second one was better.
Just to say, the 3 decks are showing 27.
Yeah, that's right. 27
Yes.
is the number of cards left in that deck until it resets. And then the bottom number is the number of cards in your hand.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Phil's on 39.
Phil's got 39
Yes.
cards.
No,
Because
I've got 6. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because his deck's only just come in, whereas you just had a few shuffled past you. That's why it's different. So it's no biggie.
No, I'm going with the power athletics either way. Also, if he sees me coming.
Yeah, he does indeed. So it's a difficulty 2 test.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Boom, boom, boom.
I have such terrible cards, and I need to leave them for something that's coming.
Also, I'm seeing yours.
No,
Is that correct?
You're seeing 2 cards of mine.
Mm.
Those
Yeah,
are the cards I drew for my skill.
Oh, right, because I usually see the black cards.
There we go. So, yeah, you very succeed. You push him 6 meters into the grass,
Wow.
and he goes, fuck, 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 and he gets back up and he runs back toward the boat. But as he does so, you see him draw a knife, and it looks like he's going to throw it at you as he runs back toward the boat. So you get to initiative, basically. So, Giorgio, do you attack or do you evade? Actually, would it be evade? Let me just look. I think it might be called dodge. Yeah, it'd be dodge.
I mean, I imagine Gamlagad to be pretty hot-headed, so if I see he attacking me, I would attack back rather than just dodge.
Okay. The rest of you, do any of you guys want to take an action?
Oh, I'd have to
Do I
discard
be that guy and snitch? I would either snitch or
I'm
I
your
would...
friend, so snitch on the other one.
Not on you. Then on Castanets or the other guy, or
He's been on the grass.
pull you back so you stop engaging with him because it'll just make things worse.
I'm gonna as I'm armed, as I have my plate mail and my shield, I'm gonna move in front of my friend
Okay.
with the shield up.
And Phil?
Yeah, I'm not gonna do anything at the moment.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I'm just gonna be getting off the boat. I'll see how it goes.
Right, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys as to whether there's a brief exchange of hostilities or whether Stroker steps in between you and, what happens first, basically.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go and snitch.
So I cannot tell a lie. He threw himself into the grass a good 6 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell on.
Okay,
He
who are you
leapt
telling
onto the grass.
to?
I mean, is there a guard nearby?
You actually don't see a guard nearby, but
Oh.
you think you can see a gardener just round the corner, somebody pruning a bush.
Okay. I'll go up to the gardener and say how what's his name
Okay.
is attacking your grass.
Let's deal with the instant action first. So, with what's happening first? Is Ronnie getting in between, or is there going to be an exchange and then Ronnie gets in between?
I don't know, since I believe it is the other one is in throwing range. I'm running towards him.
What, onto the grass?
Oh, he's still on the grass.
So he's running off the grass, but as he's coming towards you, he's drawing his stiletto, a stiletto of some
Why I
kind.
was-
No, I'm literally stepping in front of Gambler to shield him.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the other one
Okay,
to come over.
Stroker then, Martin, I've got to get used to all these new names. Martin steps in front of Gamlered, and Zeev goes round the corner to speak to this gardener. So, the guy, Castelletta, he went on seeing Martin step in front of Gamlered. He thinks better of throwing the knife and instead just goes for the boat. And he immediately unmoors, starts undoing the ropes and stuff to set off and, kicks away from the harbour stuff. Zeev, you turn the corner and you can see there's this lady there that's pruning a bush. She's barefoot, stood on the grass. She looks quite short, actually. Red hair, lots of freckles, frizzy red hair, actually.
It's the queen in disguise.
And she's wearing just basically a simple toga. It's a bit of string tying it around her waist, and she's pruning a bush. Hello.
Hello, miss. I am with the graduation group, but somebody was making a fool of the grass and trampling all over it. I thought you should know.
I saw. Come this way. Bring all your friends.
Well, it was just that guy who did it. We were trying to stop him. We know it is important with the rules.
I saw. But do come this way. And she gestures up toward the path. And come along, everyone. Come.
Okay. Here's my worry. When she says "I saw," did she see?
She's going to rape me, guys.
Did she see him go on the grass, or did she see Gamlerud shove him full pelt onto the grass?
We're about to find out.
We're about to find out.
This is where I wish there was a psychology skill in this.
Well, Castelletta just bumped into me.
Absolutely, and bounced off.
Yeah,
Is
that's on him.
is our piglet friend with us?
Yes, she is. I forgot to say that, actually. She graduates today, too.
Oh,
What's her name?
Piglet Tales.
It is the one and only Piglet Tales. Okay.
It is indeed.
oh, it's
Yeah,
a prequel.
I figured that the minute you said it was from Sousa, I thought, yeah, that's how you're getting us back into the story. We're going to avenge her death.
And so you basically go up this garden path toward the main palace itself. Now, the palace is built essentially of 4 things: marble, gold, some kind of shimmering crystal glass, but like possibly diamond, and the foliage. And it is like a really lush, it's like a perfectly manicured jungle palace. And as you go up the path, it kind of opens up into this courtyard area. And the Queen's the gardener is just walking with you. And
Freudian slip.
Afraid so. But before you realise it's the Queen, she's just kind of walking with you. Have you had a nice trip? Did the winds favour your boat?
It was very smooth, thank you.
Wonderful, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely wonderful.
Okay, now if I could just get everybody to just stand in a line across the courtyard, that would be absolutely delightful. And then she kind of walks away from everyone and then turns to face and she says, "Welcome to my palace. Now, you are here to be tested, to see if you are worthy of ruling over this city in my name. As members of a great house, the great house has hopefully trained you. And with any luck, for once in their long, long history, House Willow will actually manage to keep one of their blue bloods this time," she says, looking at Sapling.
Poor Sapling.
He gulps. But I'm sure, as ever, House Oak and House Elm have sent their finest. But it's not enough for me to have people that can do the things I ask. I need people that can respond to changing circumstances and things unfolding. I don't get all of the information. And when you're out there in the field, you will need to be able to take decisive action without me there to make decisions for you. And it's because of that. The last thing I want is somebody who blindly follows orders. And with that, she points at 6 people, includes all the House Elm kids. All but the one that headbutted Gamlerad earlier. And a couple of kids from House Beach. And she says, "I want you all to stand on that side of the courtyard, off the pavement." And then she turns around and walks off, away from the courtyard. And they're, in response to her instruction, the most of the House Elm kids and the House Beach kids, they go and line up, but they stand, as she said, on the grass. And
Rookie.
then coming up the path behind, like the same path you walked up, is a man dressed essentially as a dandy. He's young, very attractive, short cropped black hair.
Hello, Dad.
Yeah.
Father!
Basically, yeah. It is the prince. And as he's walking up the path, he kind of walks past you guys through the gap in the line that was made with them. He doesn't acknowledge you or turn to face you at all or anything. And he kind of gets to the middle of the courtyard. He still doesn't turn to face you. And he just throws knives at all of them. And they all just die straight away. And then he carries on walking. And then you just kind of left there.
They
What do you do?
chose
Did we pass?
poorly.
I do believe that we passed the first intelligence test.
Yes, we do not follow orders.
We didn't follow orders. We followed the rule. Do not step on the fucking grass.
I'm not sure we passed.
Not yet.
So we're not dead with a knife in our throat, are we?
Well,
True.
we are one step closer. That's all that matters.
We're one step closer to quality dad time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Piglet Tails.
Hey,
We're
I'm
gonna
on the
show
sixth
them.
with you.
Right?
In which case, what she said, Zeev, was, thank fuck for that. We're not dead.
And since I don't get anything, since I didn't really try and understand how to speak the language, yeah, we're gonna show them. You're right, Piglet.
And then you just kind of left in the courtyard. So what do you do?
Where did the prince go after
Up the
throwing
same-
knives?
The same. He just carried on. But after he did the thing, he then resumed walking and followed the queen up the path, and then it goes round a corner and into the main palace itself.
Well, with my hand on my sword by my side, I suggest we go that general direction.
Okay, is everyone else following along?
Makes the most sense. I do not want to be associated with the people who failed.
And then everyone else kind of takes your lead and follows you.
Yeah.
And so
The saplings survive.
yes, sapling survived. And you walk up the path and around the corner, and it's kind of it's this sort of grand entrance building to the to what you think is actually not the main building. It's like almost like a special building to mark the start of the path to the palace. And as you're going through the building, lined up along the walls is all sorts of weapons made of gold, and they look like incredible quality. There's swords, rapiers, halberds, everything. They're just kind of lined up on tables along one wall.
I stop by and just have a really good look at all of that gorgeous weapons.
And as you're sort of stood by the table, one of the last house elm kid, he comes up next to you and he goes, "Fuck yeah!" And he picks up one of the swords and he actually swaps it with his own.
Oh no! We don't want to.
At
do
this
that.
point, I tap him on the shoulder.
No.
very nicely, so-
It's an enemy house. If he plans on doing shit, that's all on his own.
Yeah, I'm saying we.
No, I'm not touching shit, of course.
Okay.
Definite an upgrade.
So as you kind of make your way through this entrance building that denotes the start of the path to the palace, you get to the point in the building where the path starts, and it's like this beautiful tree-lined avenue, and the queen is at the far end, sat down at a table. There are 3 chairs. The prince is sat on another one of the chairs, and there is a third chair. All the kids they all look at each other, and then there's this mad rush, and of course Sapling is definitely going to be last here.
Not moving.
So Martin Valhorsen doesn't move. Finny Nolly, you join the rush?
I will join the rush.
Okay. Gamlarad and Zeev?
No, I'm
Say
not.
sorry that the queen was sitting on one, Prince was sitting on the other, and then this empty chair.
There is a third chair.
Whereabouts is it in the room?
It's not in a room, it's outdoors.
Well, as in the vicinity.
But
Like, is it set in somewhere
So
specific?
you're coming at this building that denotes the start of the path to the
Yeah.
palace.
Yeah.
At the other end of the path is a table, like an outdoor picnic table type, round, white, made of metal with lattice work type thing. And the queen there's basically 3 chairs around that.
Mm-hmm.
The queen, the prince, and an empty chair.
What I'm trying to gauge is, with my etiquette knowledge, would it be wrong for me to sit at that seat because it's meant for somebody else or something like that?
All your etiquette knowledge really teaches you is that when the queen stands up or sits down, you should stand for it.
Yeah.
The nothing is. They don't teach this test.
Well, I'm gonna hang back then, because my hunch is people are gonna fight over the chair. They're gonna knock it over. They can't really sit on it, or it's just gonna be.
No,
or something.
I'm going towards the table, but I'm not running.
Yeah.
I'm just walking to it.
Yeah, I'm sauntering up. In fact, I'm making a point of making sure that Sapling is sort of keeping up with us, because he seems a nice guy.
Okay, so Finny, you said you were going to join the rush.
Yep.
So let's have a reactions speed test from you, please.
Oh, okay, that's 1 card then.
While he's doing that, what's Piglet Tails doing?
She's ambling along with wherever the bulk of you guys are.
Okay. Ooh.
That is not great.
You've got a 9 in Steam. That's pretty damn good.
That's not great.
You're going to sprint up there, and then you're going to get trampled to death when everyone else reaches you, basically.
Yeah. So I'm going to get tripped up on the way. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do much with this, I'm afraid, because I've got no other cards. Okay. What can I do? Okay. I'll go with that.
You are about 3rd in the running, but you're beaten by a few other kids. And so the first one to get there doesn't even get to touch the chair, but they were just about to, when suddenly they fly back and there is a knife in their forehead, and the queen and the prince are standing.
Oh.
And they collapse back. Definitely not a race you wanted to win.
I was never going to with that hand.
That's my father's chair. Sorry, that's my husband's chair, says the queen.
See? I had a hunch.
Yeah. I know, but hopefully it will diminish as you grow older.
There were 3 dragons when we arrived, and we always leave a space for him. Now, I think we should have a test of the sword. Sapling gulps, and she sees that and says, Sapling, you will fight that child. And she points to the Talion who picked up the gold sword.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
And Sapling says, I'm not very good with this sword. Don't worry, Sapling. I'm sure you'll do fine. And
because the prince is going to knife the other one for nicking the gold sword.
I give Sapling a little bit of encouragement from the other side of the courtyard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Come on, Sapling, you got this guy.
He's only got a gold sword. That's rubbish.
Yeah, gold is very soft. It's easy to break.
It is. You ever want diamond or netherite?
Yeah, and sure enough, Talion, the Talion, draws this golden sword, and he's just running rings around Sapling, but it seems that Sapling doesn't get hurt at all by any of these blows, and eventually, and it unfortunately takes about 3 or 4 minutes, and everyone, even the Queen, seems to be getting a little bit impatient about how long this is taking. Eventually, Sapling catches the Talion, and it's only a little cut on his arm. And you can see that the Queen is kind of like hoping that, eventually kill him. And the Talion's getting really frustrated. But, as soon as the Sapling does the little cut on his arm, the Queen says, "Enough! I can't bear this anymore." And she looks at Sapling, shakes her head, and Sapling's like, "I have many skills. This is one. I'm so sorry." And the Queen kind of walks towards Sapling and puts a hand on him. And you kind of, as you're watching that, you kind of just don't really realize that at some moment in that action, sort of obscured by Sapling and the Queen herself, the Queen had done something with her other hand, and the Talion just falls to the floor and his head rolls off.
That's what he gets for trying to get ahead.
I didn't expect you to take quite so long, but it's fine. Really? Says Sapling. Yes. Don't push it, or it won't be.
A question: was the Talion the
red one?
The red. Ah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so sorry from his early departure. I will cry myself to sleep.
Now, I have need of a volunteer. Who wants to be famous, she says. And Piglet Tails goes... Does anyone else speak up? Oh, Jason, she said, I do.
I thought so. Yeah, I'll also step forward.
I won't.
No, I have no interest in fame. I just want to serve.
And so she kind of comes up to you, Zeev, and... What's your coat colouring like, by the way?
Oh, I assumed it would be orangey, but I wasn't sure what colours it could be.
Prussian blue.
You can definitely be orange, or orange and white is, valid colour. Or you can even be tiger striped if you want. Could be a snow leopard pattern. Could have marble patterning, like a Bengal.
I'll be snow coloured.
Okay. So she looks at you and she's like, I think your fur colour might work against you for what I have in mind. I need somebody who can sink into shadows. But I know your enthusiasm. And then she goes up to Piglet Tails. Yes, you will do nicely. And she hands Piglet Tails a ring. I want you to put this on and think of the shadows. And as Piglet Tails does so, you notice any part of her that's in the shadows of the trees behind seems to vanish. And Piglet Tails like, oh, and she kind of steps a bit into the shadow, and it's as she's stepping fully into the shadow, she kind of vanishes in the shadows. This is great. And then the Queen hands her an envelope and says, I want you to take this to, and she gives the address of the Assassin's Guild that you heard earlier, 182 Blackmore Street on Black Market. And Piglet Tail says, right away. Now, 5 more. I have a mission. It's a rather prescient problem that I want all of you to go on. There is a member of the intelligentsia in the town of Arwent. He is working on a project to do with the nostrum flower. For reasons that don't concern you, I am going to remove all trace of the nostrum flower from the world fragment. This man has a rather large stash of nostrum flower. I am sending a message to my man in the area to destroy that stash, but I like to always have a secondary plan. So I want to send you 5 to see if he fails, you make sure the job gets done. And failing that, I want you to kill the man in question. I also have an assassin sent to kill that man, but if that assassin fails, you will succeed.
Yes, of course we will.
As you wish, my queen.
We will do our best.
Consider it done, Your Majesty.
Now, for the first time in a very long time, House Willow have had somebody pass the test. This is unprecedented. So, Sapling, I have a different mission for you. Would you come with me into the palace? The rest of you, please begin your mission. My son will give you any further details. And she walks into the palace with Sapling, and Sapling looks really nervous.
If you can see me, I give Sapling a sort of smile and nod of encouragement.
You go, mate.
It's a special mission for you, mate. This is crowning glory.
And then the prince, your father, for the first time, you think, makes eye contact with you all. Right, the man you're going to kill, should there be a need for you to do anything. Oh, hello, by the way, I'm your father. He's kind of not that interested at all at first. Does anyone have charm skill?
I do.
No.
I got 3 points.
Yes, I've got one point in charm.
Okay, I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, but I just need to look up my session notes from before, because I need a character name. That's it. The man you're going to kill is Civilus Silverbraid, should the assassin fail. And his nostrum store you will find you can't miss it, it's a giant egg-like building in Arwent. It's newly constructed. It's the biggest thing in the area, actually. It towers over the Dwarfen Fortress, the other side of the lake. You'll find it on the south side of the lake. I don't think you need to know anything else. And then he kind of just stops and he looks at Giorgio for a moment. Oh, sorry, Gamlerad. And he kind of smiles and he says, unless you want some rest and relaxation before you leave. And he gives you kind of a charming smile, and it's almost like there's a glint to his teeth. And he gives a little wiggle of his eyebrows at you.
I'm flattered, father, but I do believe that time is of the essence.
Really good answer.
Focused on your mission, are you? I shouldn't have given it to you yet.
Sounds you've been.
In my mind, there is a little bit of a bubble that says, "Oh no, tough shit, mate."
What about you, Martin?
Would you like
my
a little bit of
esteemed-
incest?
like Gamblerid, I am focused upon the mission, Father. I wish to do you proud.
God, I hate this palace. It's such a shag. All right then, fuck off your fridges. And he stands up and he sort of stomps off into the palace. He's obviously, got stuff to do. And you just kind of left there.
Oh no, poor tree. He's going to get so fucked.
There's been more
Oh
trees around.
no.
Why do I feel the shadow of corporation just easing
It is
across
Saturday
the
game, after all.
skyline?
All right. So, are we going back to the boat?
Yeah, you head back to the boat, and actually there's a fresh boat there now. A different boat is there, a different person is waiting for you.
Because I believe Castelletta sailed away as fast as possible.
He did indeed.
Yeah, I've got a feeling that either he's going to come after us at some point, or he has sailed away and shall sail no more.
Mm.
We end up going down the river somewhere, and we can see little bits of what was his boat. Charred hand hanging out the water.
All right, so now the question is, basically, do you, and I'm just going to ask this in a very meta way, do you want to do some stuff going through Moraine, or do you just want to sort of get out and off toward your adventure? Like, how long do you want this campaign to be? Because we're kind of playing catch up in the sense of, we lost 5 sessions.
Off and out, I say. Let's, we've been. I mean, this isn't a case where we've been tasked by a sheriff or a mayor or something. We've been tasked by the Queen herself. So yeah, I say off and out.
I don't mean in terms of obviously your plan is to sort of get straight out. What I meant was, do you want me to throw some encounters in Moraine, or do you just want to kind of catch back up with where you were in the plot line? Like, how long do you want this campaign to be is what I'm asking, really. Just so I know what to prep for next session.
No, time skip is perfectly fine. Just to catch back on where we TPK'd.
I want to get the momentum up again. Where we were.
Okay. All right.
That's my thoughts. What's everyone else's?
Yeah, that's fine.
So Pigleters will just fresh out
You're muted, Jason.
of the orphanage, basically.
Whatever works best for the story is my take.
Well, it depends if you want to explore some of Moraine first, really, because I can put, if you want to sort of see the world and see the, the greatest city on the world fragment and all this kind of stuff, but I can throw some stuff in and give you a bit more of a taste for the place before you head off. But
I mean, Jason and myself already know a bit, don't we? But if Ronnie and
I want to sort of grab that momentum back again.
Okay. All right. Well, I know
That's
what's
my
planned
thought.
for the next session then. And with that, we shall leave it there as you sail off from the palace. That is character gen done.
Ooh.
Pretty faster than the other time.
And Martin Valhausen is ready to stroke his way across.
You say faster than the other time.
Yeah, I think. But
The character generation,
Yeah.
just filling in the numbers.
I like the bit with the describing the teachers, and that was very good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. Well, it's something you don't normally get to do because, like, normally everyone's got a different background.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I thought, well, here's an opportunity because you're all going to have the same background. Let's, let's explore it, and then
Yeah, I
you've
think-
got a frame of reference for everything.
That worked quite well,
Mhm.
I think.
I enjoyed that.
All right.
Very
So
much so.
I shall end the broadcast here, and then
Okay.
have a quick fag, and then hang out with you guys.
Save my
Yeah.
shit.
All right. For anyone who watches this
Bye.
later, goodbye.